Hi, I'm Ann Dolin, and today I'm talking about prioritization. One of the biggest obstacles that kids face is determining what they're going to do first, second, and third, especially when they have lots of work on their plate. So let's dive in. Often when kids get started, they tend to prioritize the wrong things first. Take a look at this visual. On the left, you'll see a jar with sand. In the middle, you'll see sand and pebbles. And on the right, you'll see sand, pebbles, and rocks. And what do you notice? When you start with the sand, then pebbles, and then rocks, not everything fits into the jar. It makes sense. Let's say that sand is stuff kids love to do, but it's not necessarily helpful, but still, they should have an opportunity to do it. Scrolling through their phone, watching TikTok videos, or even binge watching the newest show on Netflix. Pebbles are things like their math homework. They really should be getting that done to do well on that math test. And then lastly, the rocks. These are the most important things that kids should be working on, especially when they count for a big part of their grade, like an essay. So as we can see, when they prioritize the wrong things first, like scrolling through their phone and then math homework, they never really get to the most important things. We want to help kids counteract that. And here's what we show them with this visual. You can make everything fit and you will have time and it will not cost you any more effort by simply starting with rocks. Start with the rocks, then layer in the pebbles, and then layer in the sand, and voila, everything fits. So it's just really changing the order, and you still have time for the things you love. And I will tell you, helping kids to learn this skill by showing them a visual is so big for them. All of a sudden, they're like, oh, I never thought about it that way. That makes total sense. It's a game changer. So what does that look like in reality? Well, when we work with kids in sessions, and by the way, this is part of our executive function program, and we work with kids beautifully online. And we use a software called Lesson Space, which is developed for educators. We don't use Zoom. Zoom is for business. It's not ideal for kids. With Lesson Space, they see us, we see them. The screen is so interactive. We screen share, we use graphing calculators, all these awesome tools to make it really lively. So here's an example of a screen share with a calendar. And you can see that the software will populate the due dates for things that kids have to do. Helpful, but it's not the end game. So we'll take a look at with the student what they have coming up, not just tomorrow, but later in the week and next week. Then we want to dive deeper. We want to see, all right, you mentioned you have that essay coming up. Let's go to English. And oh, I see you have a rubric. Show me that. So we can have a discussion, not just about due dates, but about expectations. And that is so helpful to kids. So we'll dive deeper with their specific assignments. In a session, here's how it works. At the beginning, when we meet with kids, these are 1-hour sessions, often once a week, sometimes twice. We'll check in. How did your week go since our last session? What went well for you? What was tricky? We'll figure out what's due using the screen share and looking at the calendar. We'll help prioritize their work. And then with them, we're going to look at their schedule after school. Our students are busy. And we have to find these pockets of time. Sometimes we call them weird windows where they can put in what they're going to do. We want to help them schedule their rocks, schedule their pebbles, and fit in time for sand. Basically, we answer 2 questions for kids. What do they have and when will they do it? Then we want to help them tackle the most dreaded assignment, the one that might be heavy on their shoulders. It's worrisome. We want to make sure that they get that done. And then at the end of the session, which by the way, kids love because they love to feel they're accomplished and they've got their work done, at least some of it. And at the end, we want to anticipate obstacles with them because I tell you, many kids can be really optimistic, but usually something crops up that makes it hard for them to finish their work. For example, they have a test on Friday, but oh, they have that game. They have their lacrosse game on Thursday night, and it's an away game. That's going to take a chunk out of their schedule. What can they do to get around that? Could they start earlier? Could they arrange to do something on the bus? Or maybe they'll say, oh, my phone is so distracting. I need a way so I'm not so focused on that when I'm doing the work. Okay, let's come up with some strategies. So we want to anticipate that these things will happen. We want kids to have strategies for them. So when they do occur, they know what to do. So please know that we are here to help you. If we can help your child with priorities, with studying, or with time management, we're happy to do so. You can schedule a call. You can talk to us, Kathy, Jennifer, and Ann Stewart, and we're happy to have a strategy call with you, discuss your child's history, your goals for your student, share a bit of what we do to see if we're a match. And if we're not, then you will learn some skills, some strategies in our time together, about 20 minutes, that will help you and your child on a journey on their path forward. I hope this has been helpful, and happy prioritization.